Hello everyone. Today our group will be presenting on strategic implementation of social identity leadership. The approach focuses on how leaders create and strengthen a shared identity within a group to improve cooperation, engagement, and overall effectiveness. Our team includes Jessica Williams, Brianna Hilton, and Stacy Florence, myself. Social identity leadership defined. Social identity leadership focuses on the idea that effective leadership develops when leaders create a strong shared group identity where members think in terms of we rather than I. Leaders are most effective when they represent and advance the interests of the group and help strengthen that shared identity. They also reinforce identity by creating structures, traditions, and environments that support collaboration and shared goals. For example, the Mr. Bronco mascot at Fayetteville State University represents the collective identity of the university community. Leaders help define that symbol and continue integrating it into events, athletics, and campus culture so students identify with the group as a whole. Recent research also shows that identity leadership can emerge through peer leaders, not only formal leaders, and can be just as, if not more, effective. Overall, this theory expands leadership studies by shifting the focus away from individual leader traits and toward the shared identity that connects members of a group.
Hello, I am Brianna Hilton, lead researcher for Group 7 Consulting. Building on our framework, I will now present our applied research extensions and our strategic assessment of social identity leadership for today's global environment. To ensure our proposal offers superior value, I've extended our research with Quan's 2026 study on digital prototypicality. In modern hybrid workforces, leaders must work 20% harder to maintain a visible prototype to avoid an identity vacuum. Furthermore, data from Lustardinen and colleagues affirms that identity leadership can emerge effectively through peer leaders. This reduces organizational reliance on traditional, top-down authority and fosters organic group cohesion. To ensure our proposal offers superior value, I've extended our research with Quan's 2026 study on digital prototypicality. In modern hybrid workforces, leaders must work 20% harder to maintain a visible prototype to avoid an identity vacuum. Furthermore, data from Lustardinen and colleagues affirms that identity leadership can emerge effectively through peer leaders. This reduces organizational reliance on traditional, top-down authority and fosters organic group cohesion. Our consultancy's assessment is that this approach has high global utility. We utilize Identity Leadership Inventory, a 15-item validated audit, to provide a quantitative look at leader performance. To implement this, we use a 5R roadmap: readying, reflecting, representing, realizing, and reinforcing to move teams from the storming phase into peak performance. Our final verdict is that social identity leadership is a modern, scalable style that directly addresses the needs of a diverse workforce. Data from Haslam, Reicher, and Plateau confirms a 76% correlation between this shared identity and high organizational commitment. This is the data-driven strategy your organization needs to secure its future. A full list of our recent citations is included on a final slide for your review.
My name is Jessica Williams, and I will be discussing the strengths and criticisms of the social identity leadership approach. This leadership model focuses on how leaders build influence by creating and reinforcing a shared identity within a group. The social identity leadership approach has several strengths. First, it focuses on group-centered leadership, meaning leadership is built on the shared identity between leaders and followers. Second, leaders gain influence through prototypical leadership when they represent the values and norms of the group. The model also highlights practical behaviors like identity advancement, entrepreneurship, and impresarioship, which help strengthen group cohesion. It also provides a roadmap for leaders, encouraging them to learn and align with the group norms. Finally, the Identity Leadership Inventory, or ILI, helps measure identity leadership's behaviors. There are also some criticisms of this approach. First, it is a relatively new theory, so there is limited long-term research. Second, some concepts like prototypicality and shared identity can be unclear or difficult to apply. The leadership process is also dynamic, meaning leaders and followers influence each other at the same time. Another challenge is that many leaders are assigned rather than emerging from the group. However, recent research shows identity leadership can strengthen trust, cooperation, and resilience during crises. This slide lists the sources used in our presentation.